Subscribe to this channel, friends. Each of the leading lions and its pride in its offspring. A lion doesn't have to build a house for his family so they can mate up to 40 times a day. That's it. You know what? The Animal World is one of most favorite shows. All the kids. And so am I. When I was a kid, I used to watch the Animal World to be raised by an animal, again to be offered on fire. It doesn't have to be a dog or a cat. As long as it's got lovely blood flowing is okay. Lumpy, 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 lumpy. Of course my parents didn't support it. I never understood my heart. My parents wouldn't let me. Simply for fear of him pooping. How to sing shit to your hands. I don't care if I have a presentation. It helps me live more emotionally and responsibly. So I had to find smaller animals and feces less to feed. And here's my story about the Animal World. The most impressive memories of animals that have ever been just passing through my life. When I started first grade, I know some of them. I have the same passion for animals as I do. It's identifying characteristics. Wearing only one pair of jeans, I have many the same. It's the same thing as a tear in the left buttock. His house is in the village. From a young age, he was often herded. Understanding of nature at the superfluous level. In school, he's an ecologist. Every tree knows everything. And I seem to be a handsome intern. Follow it to learn about the world. This is the ant. The ant is a dog. The lion dog. We all knew that day. A predatory killer, that is. I've heard this quail. It seems to be the larva of the lion. I don't know if your time is. I spent a lot of time at school. All the old wall edges. There will be cracks in the ground. In the sand there will be swirls. And under that sand, there's a death trap. I'll be down there when there is an ant-like prey or something as small as that. If you go to it, it'll slide into the sand and you can't get up. If ants crawl up, the quail will shoot sand to fall down. And then pull it down into the sand and make me. If you see a sand hole like that, it is absolutely not to be stepped on. Because if you step on it, it'll die. Then it will die. What are you waiting for? You left your mother to step on it. If it doesn't die, my husband and I often search and use a stick to swirl the sand. Catch them up. Your hands. She also has a cute couch. This time I decided to take 4 of them. Go home to school. I took the lid of Diana's cake box, put sand on it, and dropped for quail puppies. It was the first time I'd ever raised anything. I look forward to watching it grow every day. The next morning, after years of growing up, it was the first morning I woke up that my mother didn't have to say a word. Jump on the bed to see if they're digging in the sand like they did at school. Is it a little bigger? But the sand is no different. It's not like yesterday. It's still flat. Have a bad feeling. I used my hand. I couldn't find a quail. I still think it's because I didn't look very well. So I poured out the sand one by one, but it still doesn't. There's definitely someone in the house. Is that my quail disappeared? And in my mind, there was no one else. That's why I threw away your quail. What am I doing? What am I throwing away? As the ghost who sits down for breakfast not still eating late. School. They didn't let people have dogs and throw people's quail away. Who do you say people are? You're lying. Tell me. I really wanted to shut up, but it can't be contained. My emotions from crying to another body. Mean. What are you doing, Long? You've cried before. If it moves to the hiccup stage, it's definitely hard to stop. Of course, I gotta fight that day. Go to school on the beach. My mother was determined not to throw mine away. And later Big have more awareness and trust for me. Then I realized, you have to throw away my cock. It's because it crawled through the box and escaped. That idiot was suddenly beaten up. On another special day. One day the sun was blue. The sun rises in the east. I don't wear them in the crowd every day. I went to Tom's house to ask him to ride a bike, but he's not home because he's at the market buying stuff for his mother. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in my yard waiting watching their mother's separated chicks. You know what? Each one is as round as a cotton ball. They sound like sugar babies. You want to be adopted by me. Next. And I'm thinking, sure, I will come in and ask for a chicken. When he came home, his mother called, Long, please come here. Do you know how to cut chicken? And in that fateful moment, I have to choose. 1. It's about creating an image of the child in the family. 2 is to tell the truth that a child who eats only knows how to sleep. Sometimes she swears, my house is a bit too. And that answer, that means I've agreed to participate and experience worst contact with animals in history. As the mother of a young girl in her hands, and look up at me with strong eyes. Hold it so you can cut it. And I looked down at his feet. It's not as clean as chicken feet. It just stinks. There's black in every cell. We're done. We're out in the garden. It's extremely dirty. In that fateful moment, I suddenly understood bridging relationships in mathematics. I didn't understand shit the years I studied. Element A is related to element B relative to element C. So element A is related to element C. Chicken trampled is shit holding chicken feet according to bridge relations. I hold shit. And then strange thoughts started to appear. Keep it and keep it. You hold two fingers like that. Now hold it tight. I've got to show you shit. I've got to show you chicken shit. To see what? Sun, clench it up. My feet are on duck shit. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Thanks for the obsession. Since then, I've made a vow. Only contact with chicken when cooking spices. No chickens or shit. On another special day. The sky is clear, the sun is setting in the west. I don't dive in the west every day. My grandmother went to the market and bought a copper crab to cook soup. First time seeing it. I thought I'd ask you for a baby to feed me, but I know our love is far away. I can't get close. That's why my grandmother gave us the thread of love. Tie one end to the crab's claws so that the crab can stick with me until death. It's literally true. It's hard to know what crabs like. There was no Google to search. I just wish there was a machine that could translate the language to be able to understand what they need. Not only that, I can hear their words of love. Tell me what you want to tell me. Let me out, you son of a bitch. I don't think there's this machine for me yet. It's like a dog. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the way I play with crabs. Come here. Come here, so stupid, scold love. Crab and I love each other very much, everywhere we go. If it doesn't go, I'd always have a way. And this is our one-day vlog. Let's go, friends. Let's go out and celebrate forever. If you don't go, if I pull your friends, if you don't want to go, I'll pull you. She played on until you get tired. I turned to see that she had every crab. All my crabs just stick with me in English. The more the child disappears, the child died dry. I don't understand why you're dead. Every time they die, I'm sad. So I did the most solemn funeral of the day. Give them a uniform box of matches and put the crab in there. Then dig a hole in the garden and spread some pig shit flowers on it as their flower tang. I'm so sad. I've been sitting next to his grave for 9 minutes until when? Realized cartoon showing at 0 for 30. It's true that we shouldn't raise these. Let me introduce you to my white friends. It's called the English ghost. This one specializes in shredding shit and eating leftovers. Goldfish. I haven't thought of this stupid thing yet. I asked you to name it after me. I'll update it in the next video.